Did you know that your brain can't tell the difference between real and imaginary fears? Or that you're more likely to believe something if it's printed in a fancy font? The human mind is full of surprising quirks and tendencies that shape how we think, feel, and behave. Today, we're diving into some of the most fascinating facts about human psychology that will change how you see yourself and others. Let's get started. Your thoughts have more influence over your body and behavior than you might realize. For example, simply thinking about exercise can build muscle strength. In studies, participants who visualize doing strength training exercises increase their muscle strength by up to 13.5% without actually working out. This mind-body connection goes both ways. Your physical actions can also shape your mental state. Forcing yourself to smile, even when you don't feel happy, can actually improve your mood and reduce stress. The act of smiling triggers the release of feel-good neurotransmitters in your brain. Speaking of the brain, it uses about 20% of your body's total energy, despite only accounting for 2% of your body weight. Your brain is constantly active, even when you're sleeping. In fact, it may be even more active during sleep as it processes and consolidates memories from the day. Our perception of reality is heavily influenced by our expectations and beliefs. This can lead to some interesting phenomena. The placebo effect is a prime example. Simply believing a treatment will work can cause measurable physiological changes and symptom improvements, even if the treatment is just a sugar pill. We also tend to see what we expect to see. In one famous study, participants were shown playing cards with some subtle alterations, like a black 4 of hearts. Most people failed to notice anything unusual because their brains automatically corrected the cards to match their expectations. Our memories are far less reliable than we think. Every time we recall a memory, we actually reconstruct it, potentially altering details in the process. This is why eyewitness testimony can be so unreliable in court cases. Humans are inherently social creatures, and our behavior is heavily influenced by those around us. The bystander effect shows that we're less likely to help someone in need when other people are present. We assume someone else will step in, diffusing our sense of personal responsibility. We also have a strong drive to conform to social norms. In the famous Asch conformity experiments, many participants gave clearly incorrect answers to simple questions, just to go along with the group. Our social connections have a huge impact on our well-being. Having positive relationships is one of the strongest predictors of happiness and longevity. Conversely, loneliness and social isolation are as detrimental to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Cognitive biases. Our brains use mental shortcuts to process information quickly, but these can lead to systematic errors in judgment. The availability heuristic causes us to overestimate the likelihood of events that are easy to recall. For example, people tend to be more afraid of plane crashes than car accidents, even though the latter are far more common. Confirmation bias leads us to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs while ignoring contradictory evidence. This is why it's so hard to change someone's mind once they've formed an opinion. The Dunning-Kruger effect shows that people with limited knowledge or expertise in a given domain tend to overestimate their abilities. Conversely, true experts often underestimate their skills relative to others. The way we make decisions is often irrational and influenced by subtle factors. We tend to value things more highly simply because we own them. This endowment effect is why it's so hard to get rid of possessions, even ones we rarely use. Framing can dramatically impact our choices. People are more likely to opt for surgery if told it has an 80% survival rate versus a 20% mortality rate, even though these are equivalent. We're also prone to anchoring, basing decisions on the first piece of information we receive, even if it's irrelevant. This is why savvy negotiators always make the first offer. Our emotions play a huge role in shaping our thoughts and actions. Emotional contagion means we tend to catch the emotions of those around us. This is why laughter is contagious and why one person's bad mood can bring down a whole group. Contrary to popular belief, venting anger doesn't actually make you feel better. Studies show that expressing anger tends to amplify the emotion rather than diffusing it. Our emotions can even influence our physical perceptions. People estimate hills to be steeper when they're tired or carrying a heavy backpack. Language and thought. The language we speak shapes how we think about and perceive the world. Bilingual people often report feeling like they have different personalities when speaking different languages. This may be because different languages prime different cultural norms and ways of thinking. Some languages lack words for certain concepts, which can make those ideas harder to think about or discuss. For example, some cultures don't have a word for blue and have trouble distinguishing it from green. The words we use to describe events can even influence our memories. In one study, people who were asked how fast cars were going when they smashed into each other gave higher speed estimates than those driving the cars that hit each other. Motivation and habits. Understanding the psychology of motivation can help us build better habits. Intrinsic motivation, doing something because you enjoy it, is generally more powerful and sustainable than extrinsic motivation, doing something for a reward. It takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit, though this can vary widely depending on the person and the behavior. Setting specific implementation intentions, like I will exercise for 30 minutes after work on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, makes you much more likely to follow through on goals than vague intentions, such as I will exercise more. Sleep and dreams play a crucial role in our mental and physical health. Lack of sleep impairs cognitive function as much as being drunk. Just one night of sleep deprivation can significantly impact reaction times, decision-making ability, and mood. We typically have 4 to 6 dreams per night, though we usually only remember dreams from the REM stage of sleep right before waking. Some people experience lucid dreams, where they become aware they're dreaming and can control the dream narrative. This state can be induced through various techniques. Our personalities are shaped by a complex interplay of genetics and environment. Studies on twins suggest that about 40 to 60% of personality traits are inheritable. The rest is influenced by our experiences and environment. Personality tends to be relatively stable over time, but it can change. People generally become more conscientious and emotionally stable as they age. Introverts and extroverts actually have different optimal levels of arousal. Introverts tend to be overstimulated by social interaction, while extroverts crave more stimulation. Understanding psychology can help us maintain better mental health. Practicing gratitude has been shown to increase happiness and life satisfaction. Simply writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day can have a significant impact. Mindfulness meditation can actually change the structure of your brain, increasing gray matter in areas associated with learning, memory, and emotional regulation. Social comparison is a major source of unhappiness in the modern world. Constantly comparing ourselves to others on social media can lead to decreased self-esteem and life satisfaction. And there you have it, some of the most fascinating facts about human psychology. Understanding these quirks of the mind can help us make better decisions, improve our relationships, and lead happier, healthier lives. Which fact surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more mind-blowing psychology content. Thanks for watching.